Hey everybody, I'm Kevin and welcome to Kev's Vibe of the Day, where I frame up your day and give you something positive to think about. Without further ado, let's get right to the cards. There we go. All right. So, yesterday, thank you for those of you who commented, sent me texts. I really appreciate your feedback and your honesty and your truth. I'm never really sure how any of the messages land with people. It seems like it just flows on in, and I'm grateful to know that whatever is said and shared lands and gives you something to chew on for the day. All right, so angels, thank you for reminding us that you're present. Guardians of the four corners, Mother in the earth, Father in the sky, angels, ancestors, sacred ones, I call on you and welcome you here now. I set the intention that whatever is gained from the lessons learned from the tools right here will be dedicated to the growth and the success of all beings in all places, and so it is, and so shall it be. So that's a good shuffle, I think. Move that from here. There we go. And then let's just spread them out. These are a little tougher to spread out, but let me use both of my hands. So this one feels like a good card to think about right there. Let's see what it reveals. Oh, the Elder. I like this card. Whoop, there we go. Hang on. Let's get it into focus. Is it going to focus? How weird is that? There we go. There we go. All right. So the elders, and the message from the elders is that there are some cultures in our universe that have been around for eons. And this is a message directly from our ancestors to say that whether you believe in reincarnation or not, and I'm hoping that you do, but what I believe and what I choose to share is really my own personal thoughts and beliefs and things that I find line up when I'm looking to learn something beyond what I can find in the library or beyond what I can see in a book or whatever I've got in my heart's desire to learn something else, something new and something different. I'm always led to the lesson, and sometimes I'm led to a lesson that doesn't really necessarily make a lot of sense. I can tell viscerally within my gut feeling, and the more I use telepathy, clairvoyance, clairaudience, the more I use my spiritual skills and my spiritual gifts, similarly the way that you would use a paintbrush or a pen or a pencil to sketch, or like for most of us that did not grow up with computers, but at least found them in our adolescent years and our young adulthood, these skills need to be practiced. So the elders, especially this one, comes and says, move past and beyond all of the ancestral patterns. So this is a message for those of you who may have felt stuck in the doctrines, the lessons, and the learnings that perhaps were placed upon you by your own family, your own ancestry. And in this particular life that we're in, what we have for physical reference is our siblings, our parents, or those who we consider parents, those who raised us, if you're adopted, and what they have is a lineage of their family, their parents, where they come from, and what they have is your great-grandparents, and on it goes. So the elders right now have come with a message to basically say your family members, past and present, knows that energy that's part of your spirit can sometimes be more powerful than the genetics and our behavior patterns. So the message here is for you to heal any abnormalities. For example, try to balance out your emotional thoughts, feelings, and desires that perhaps are steeped into, connected to, or based upon what you've learned ancestrally. The elder here is an embodied soul, and the representation of it is he's moved beyond the journeys of the physical and represents a reclaim of the power. So when the elder appears as it is today in a reading, it acknowledges that you have got the ability to move past and beyond the limiting thoughts and feelings that have been placed upon you. If you've had expectations of success, failure, sadness, or sickness placed upon you by other people, it's important to know that you're here to create your very own story. So this card represents healing, and the healing to your family lineage, past, present, future family. You get to decide what you want to take on, and your ancestral roots are rooting for you. They're also understanding your personal setbacks. They're understanding the struggles that you have endured. So here's a bit of truth in that. In this lifetime, we'll call it, because a lot of folks, we live in the present world, we live in our consciousness, we live in, we go back in the memory of our mind, usually probably early memories, 2, 3, maybe, I'm not a neurologist, so I can't study how the neurological patterns begin to form memories in our mind. I'm sure a child psychologist or a neurologist could say, this particular cortex of the brain develops at this age. There are generalizations. So I'm not talking on a medical standpoint. I'm talking on this lifetime standpoint, that we go back in our memory and as children, we are heavily steeped in part imagination, part fun, part physicality and learning, going off to school, being told what to do, what not to do, where to go, where not to go, who to play with, who not to play with. And as we grow, we start to emerge as our own person. Those of us who are tuned into little ones, toddlers, children, are amazed at watching a tiny baby that gets born, and then a week later there has been this growth, and then you fast forward 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, the first year, the words get formed, the opinions get formed, the behavior gets formed, and that little one knows exactly how to move forward, who to trust, who to go to get what they want. It just meanders through. We start to grow, then we go to school, then we mix with other people, and then we get to become a teenager, and all of those things begin to happen. And slowly but surely, the first 15 to 20 years of our life in physical form get molded by our opinions and impressions are placed upon us by other people. Typically, people that we wish to want us, love us, see us, respect us, understand us, those that we want to get approval from are the ones that shape what we do, where we go, what we see, what we hear, what we learn. It's very rare to find an individual that is given the freedom and grace to follow their own pattern, to follow their own pathway. And I'm sure you've heard it, I've heard it, probably done it. And this is usually where it shows up, where we've done something, and what we've done perhaps was not intentional, but showed up in a way that was pretty awkward. We get shown these lessons that grandparents, great-grandparents, this cousin, that cousin, did this, did that, followed this way, followed that way. And there's this expectation placed upon younger generations to do certain things, particularly if you think about the growth of the 19th century, 20th century, now 21st century. Perhaps not so much right now, but definitely the 19th and 20th century. Those who were successful and rose past poverty, perhaps, became successful business people or became professionally well respected in the community, that kind of lineage. There is this expectation that gets passed on. And in with it is a waft of guilt and shame if the children who later become adults of that doctrine, of that patterning, of that lineage, of those ancestral expectations don't follow what's being asked. Now, it's very true. I believe, and again, I'm not expecting you to believe it, that I believe we come here, and my truth, I meant to say, is that there's a purpose, there's a reason, there's an idea, and it's not always clear. It's not always like laid out step by step, by 16, by 21, by 30, by 40, by 50. Meet this person, meet that person. However, there are milestones or things that pop up. For instance, you meet that one person that you believe is the love of your life, and you end up marrying them, and you end up having a glorious 25, 30, 35. My parents, over 40 years of marriage, 50 years of marriage. I think they've been married 62 years in October. That's incredible. To have been with somebody longer than that, married to them, and their love is phenomenal. So that's like a contractual decision that this soul mate has chosen to spend this lifetime with that person. And no matter what children, place, situation, story comes into play, those two are connected and chose to be connected and came in to do what they needed to do. So those are the things that pop up in our life. And it's similarly to folks who work at a job for 10 years, 20 years. You go into bank sometimes and you make it a deposit. And this person has on their badge 25 years of service, 30 years of service. By 40 years of service, they're typically retired and they've got the gold watch. These are the habits that our ancestors and people in our life placed upon us that said, this is what we should do. This is who we should be. And every family member wants their siblings and their children and their generations to rise up and grow. The challenge is they typically want the rising up and the growing to be with a certain boundary placed upon it. And there we learn, we have to follow one way or follow another way and not follow our own way. So this elder moved beyond the ancestral patterns. Ancestral patterns get forgiven and forgotten the minute we pass from this life into the next world. Sometimes we come in here to this world to undo some of those ancestral patterns, to choose a life and a style and a way of being that is not stuck in a rut. Like, think about this hypothetically. Imagine that one of your lifetimes, if you believe in reincarnation as I do, that one of your lifetimes you had a purpose, a decision to make, and you came into a physical embodiment to fulfill that purpose. And at some point it got derailed and you were absorbed into an ancestral pattern that meant this is the life now that you're going to follow. It wasn't one that you chose. It was not really aligned with your purpose. And no matter what happened, what you tried to do, you kept coming back to something that wasn't lined up with your purpose. Or we'll say there was shame, there was guilt, there was something that placed you on the wrong path, the path that wasn't part of your purpose, that wasn't lined up with what you were meant to do. And so the next time, the next opportunity you get to do it, you come in and choose one that is lined up. Because you remember the past life on some level, on ethereal level. Can't remember everything, because if we were given the opportunity to have access, which we can through the Akashic records, that takes a bit of practice. But let's just say we have these abilities that we readily use from birth till death. That would be full of distractions. Can you imagine every lifetime you've ever lived being played on a daily basis and giving you access to? It can be accessed with some practice, but only after you understand what part of your cortex, your brain, what part of your life you place that in. The practice of meditation, the practice of accessing the Akashic records, the practice of going into a place in your mind and knowing this is there for reference. It's not there to distract you. So the point of this card today and the focus today is the elder comes to say that they understand your patterns and they understand the choices that you make are likely based upon what has been placed in front of you, around you, and on you. So this is an understanding that you have the capacity, the ability, and permission to move beyond and away from the expectations that you may feel were placed upon you by other people. The limiting patterns, thoughts, and beliefs that were placed in your mind space, in your heart space by other people. That duty-bound, habitual choice. What you feel. And this is a release from, listen, you don't have to feel bad because you didn't go into the armed forces, or you didn't follow a banking career, or you have felt the need to become, I don't know, a nun, a priest. I'm using these as examples. So today, the focus right now, through your meditations, through your lifting vibrations, through your readings of higher learning to me is my connection with God's Spirit to clarify how to make sense of the nonsense that I'm experiencing and feeling. It's actually glorious. It's also quite odd. At times, I can find myself really sensitive to the anger, the frustration, the feelings of other people. And sometimes I don't know what to do with that. Yesterday was a perfect afternoon of I'm taking on an awful lot of frustration that I feel. As I lift my vibration, become more telepathic, certainly more empathetic, I open myself up to the thoughts, the feelings, the vibrations and sensitivities of people. And sometimes that can be a little bit overwhelming. Thankfully, I learn to lift and back off from what have been taught, what has been told, and not let myself get bogged down by it. Read a book, light a candle. Sometimes in my little salon, I put a candle on and burn some incense, change the space around, put on some music. I can change the vibration, and indeed, yesterday I did. An example was, I don't know, I couldn't be specific of what was going on, what I was feeling, how I had this coat of it felt heavy, it felt just tough to move through, disappointed, frustrated, those feelings. And to me, it just felt like a movement, a vibrational movement going through me. So I rearranged the space a little bit on the inside to change the physical vibration of what was happening. And I don't know that I was aware of I was doing it. I just did it. Cleared out some things, swept up the floor, got into the corners, all that kind of thing. Then I put on some music. Looking for some Billie Holiday, looking for some jazz, looking for something soft and bouncy and liftable. And then I just felt like, I just needed to raise the vibration, clear out the energetic space that's around me. This is why it's important to do that spiritual protection or angelic protection, whatever you want to call it, 101. The times where your day gets filled with, oh my goodness, where you feel bogged down with expectations and I'll never get this done. Those feelings, frustrations, the stuff that gets bombarded at us. The big, huge lesson, or at least the big, huge nugget I have. There you go. A nugget's a better word. Your ancestors, your angels, your spirit guides, that energetic vibration that's working with you 24/7 is saying in bold, loud, capital letters, ask us to help. We're here to help. We're here to help you. And if that's what you feel like you're getting, myself included, run to your car, run to the restroom, go somewhere quiet around your workspace, your house space, a place, even if it's that I've got an errand to run, and you find the furthest parking lot or space in the mall, wherever you go, close your eyes down, get quiet, and say, thank you, angels, for revealing to me that you're here, telling me what I need to know, and thank you for taking care of this issue. Thank you for resolving this problem. Thank you for lifting my mind and my spirit towards you. I am safe and I am free, and so shall it be. Thank you for removing the ties that bind me to this situation, that person. Thank for what you want to have happen, and let that go. And then you replace the space that you released with something that fills in. You put into place something that you needed. You let go of something. Get this, for goodness sake, I've had enough. Bye-bye. Get away. And then you put back into place something that lifts it up higher. And you continue to do it. You know, everything we do on this plane is a practice. And the big nugget, before we get into Melody Beatty's book, the big nugget. We have all, if we're here doing this, listening to this, we've all done this before. We've done this life, this transitioning over and over and over again. So it becomes a practice that becomes a little easier, a little softer, a little more familiar. The more we raise the vibration, the more we lift up and go up and connect with that, like the energy, the physical, and it's like it can go like this, it can go like this. It is doing this all the time. Spiritual energy, physical energy is working together, not separated. The physical mind, the physical living, the body, this places it into its own boxes. That's why I think the human experience is to create labels and to make reasons for things, and to decide that this didn't happen because that person did what they did because. There's always a because. There's always a reason. You see what happens when we can't figure something out? The mind wants to dance into giving it a reason for being. Give it a reason instead of accepting what is and what isn't just as it is and as it isn't, and off we go. This is releasing the ancestral, where is it? There you go. Moving beyond the ancestral patterns. The pattern of needing to put this in a place, of deciding. You know, I'm sure you've all heard people say, well, why did they do that? Well, that was just, what in the world made them think, oh my goodness, that's just crazy. Do you remember these conversations and these stories that you have where you're telling somebody, I ran into so-and-so yesterday and they told me about this. I think it's kind of interesting. Oh my goodness, why? And there it goes. This whole thing. Those are the ancestral patterns that our elders are saying, step away from, move away from. However, as we learn to lift and grow and raise the vibration and remember where we came from and share that love and that joy and that peace and that harmony and get into that place where we do nothing but lay on our back and giggle like a puppy. Well, puppies don't giggle. Although I don't know. I've been around a few puppies. They make me giggle. When we do that, when we get into that playful place, we are right there with the angels doing our thing. Except right now in our culture, in our world, there's so much misery and there's so much toughness that I'm always reminded, okay, I'm here for a reason. Show me what I need to do. Show me where I need to go. And that could mean smiling at somebody at the grocery store. That could mean waiting for somebody patiently That could mean doing an act of kindness to lift. You feel it. When you feel it, and you lift it, and you lift it, and you shift it. So your elder came to say, they're with you, they're watching you, they're seeing it all, and you can move beyond the patterns of the past. Done. That was a lot of chatting about one card, and it all seemed to be coming. All right, Melody Beatty, let's hear what you've got to say, and then we're going to do our meditation. And thank you, Angel, for revealing to me what I needed to know about that. July 16th, go a little further. This is written by Melody Beatty. It's her year-long sabbatical or year-long journey where she wrote down what she was experiencing every day and put it in this book. I arrived at Oregon's Willamette National Forest after dark. Suddenly I found myself at a fork in the road. To the right was a chained gate marked Foot Travelers Welcome. To the left was an open road marked Nature Sanctuary, Authorized Visitors Only. I stared at both signs and headed to the left. I didn't see anything that looked like lodging, and I began to feel uncomfortable, like the one of the authorized visitors the sign warned about. I backed the car out to the fork, turned around, and left. 2 hours later, I still hadn't found a retreat. I was tired and worried about running out of gas. I tried to remember what I'd been learning. That desperation attracts more desperation. So I relaxed, visualized myself finding the retreat, being given a key to the room, and going to sleep in a bed. I visualized it until I could see the scene clearly in my mind. Well, before long, I found myself back at the fork. I mean, no harm, I thought. So I'll just drive down that Nature Sanctuary road again, the one for authorized visitors only. I drove as far as I had been before, then decided to push ahead a little bit more. I rounded the bend, and there it was, the parking lot, the night office, and a man who could give me a key to my room. Within 20 minutes, I was in bed for the evening. Sometimes we need to go further than we thought we could. We need to go just past our fear, past our uncertainty, past the bend we can't see beyond. If we stay on course, give it that extra push, go around the bend a bit more, we may find what we're looking for. Go around the bend a little bit more and you might find what you're looking for. Now, where I come from, when you tell someone to go around the bend, or you say that somebody is around the bend, they've gone a little bit too far. There may be people in my ancestry lineage that might think I've gone around the bend. And that's okay. I spent my life, the early part of it, trying to explain who I was and what I was about. Yeah, no, not no more. All right, eyes down, palms up, heart on, breath on. Fill up your breath, big breath in. Clear and release anything and everything that you need to clear and release and let go of. And just briefly open up your physical space, shoulders, back, upper body, lower body, all of that. Get into some of the spaces in your fingers, span them out, your shoulders. You can push your arms up. Just really move through a physical space of being here now, integrated. Turn on an active expression of your breath. Active breath where you feel your air going in, releasing out. Being aware of how far your breath goes inside your physical body. And how much energy is released when you let go. Let the thoughts and the trickle of your mind settle in. And bring your attention to the soles of your feet. Press them down. You can lift your toes up. Move out of the way anything that's blocking your connection to Mother Earth. And let the energy from Mother Earth, the love, the grounding, rise on up through your feet, into your knees, your hips, all the way through your whole body. When you hit a point of your physical body, particularly joints, major bones, knees, hips, shoulders, elbows and wrists and neck, all of those areas of your body, as you come up with your mind focused on those parts, be aware of and tune into any section of your body that is stiff, tight, uncomfortable, out of balance, and breathe into it. Breathe in healing, love, understanding. As you exhale, relax, 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 release, release, let go, let go. Breathe in the peace, breathe in the love, breathe in the healing, breathe in the understanding. On the exhale, release, release, relax, relax, let go, let go, let go, let go. And keep your mind and your focus on exactly that. Breathing in peace, breathing in love, breathing in healing, breathing in softness, breathing in relaxation. And on the exhale, let go, relax, relax. All of those things that bring you peace. Let your mind quiet down. Allow your sight, your clairvoyance, that spiritual set of eyes, let that focus on the middle of your forehead. And then feel within your heart space, the centermost being of your body. Feel an energetic glow, as if you could feel a warm, comforting, loving light. This is your energetic, eternal flame. Allow the feeling of that glowing to increase. Imagine that your heart space, your shoulders, the area between your shoulders, the part of your mid-back and your belly, tingling and expanding. And see and feel this warm glow of light that is you, rising up through your shoulders, your neck, moving up through your facial features to the crown of your head and joining with the light from above that's coming from the Father Sky, from Source Energy. Allow that light to increase. Allow it to glow. Go beyond the crown of your head, your crown chakra. Up above your soul star, in through the stellar gateway. Up into Source Energy, Father Sky. There is no end to how far this energy is and connects to you and me and us and everyone. Just as you raise your vibration, open your heart space, feel that glow tingling. Imagine this glow moving down from your heart space into your belly area, healing, relaxing, releasing and letting go of anything that's getting in your intestines, in your belly, cleaning out the filters of your vital organs, your liver, kidneys, lungs, pancreas, spleen, gallbladder, your bladder, all the areas of your digestive system, down through your tailbone, into your genitals, into your buttocks, down your legs, into the floor, to be absorbed, neutralized, recycled and replenished by the greatest love of Mother Earth, whose purpose is to ground us all, keep us safe, keep us rooted, allowing our feet to walk where our pathway is. And as Mother Earth absorbs the over-energetic thought patterns, the mental chitter-chatter, the distractions, the egoic voices, the exacerbated comings and goings, allow the love of Mother Earth to pull that energy from you, to calm you down, to absorb it and offer you peace, to remind you that you are present in a vast and mighty universe, part of the power that is here to do great work. The role of the Mother Earth is to nurture you, to ground you, to remove any unnecessary obstacles and energies that stand in your way of love and greatness. The role and purpose of the Father Sky is to replenish, re-energize, replace what has been removed and released with what is needed and necessary. You are the bridge that binds the energy of Father Sky and Source Energy to the love and nourishment of Mother Earth. You are one of many bridges who, through this act of meditation, through this journey with the soul purpose, you have the power to change the patterns of a lifetime. You have the ability right here, right now, in this lifetime, to make the necessary changes you need to fulfill the purpose you came here to fulfill. Continue breathing and releasing what needs to be let go of, thanking and honoring the archangels, ascended masters, your spirit guides, the spiritual essence of those who have passed. Your prayers, your desires have been heard. The higher realms of the universe are working to answer your prayers. Your angelic beings, ascended masters, spiritual leaders, guides, and guardian angels love you and acknowledge you for all your efforts. Your spiritual energy and your physical energy are one of the same. Part of your purpose here and now is to be ambassadors of the universe. Everything you have given and continued giving will be returned to you multiplied. You are being encouraged to vibrate at the level you're seeking. This is your opportunity to be reminded that to have love, to receive love, be loving, to have financial abundance, to receive financial abundance, be generous. Everything the universe provides, gives, receives, takes, is a constant flow of energy. You're reminded to release the ties that bind you, to people, places, situations, limiting beliefs that have been placed in your mind and heart space by others. You're being encouraged to release the grip, the hold that these situations and stories have upon you. You can push pause right here. Continue breathing, requesting and receiving. When you feel complete, place your hands at prayer at heart center to acknowledge the connection you have to your higher self and your soul. Allow yourself to remain open to the messages and the guidance from the universe, open to the connection with your spirit guide. We close this practice by lifting our thumb knuckles to third eye center, and together we bow and say Namaste. Thank you, my friends, for letting me bring that to you. Have a wonderful Friday, and we will be seeing each other soon. Take care. Bye.